Alright guys, how's it going? I don't have my microphone hooked up, so I don't know how the audio is gonna sound. It should be fine, but I'm just gonna do it this way. Really want to talk about one of Matt's last presentations about, I don't know what show he was watching. I didn't catch that detail, but it's whatever origin story series, Batman series involving the Penguin. Whatever that's called, whatever that is. And Matt made a comment about how the characters are like, even the main characters is kind of very unlikable. And I've noticed this phenomenon too, especially with very modern TV shows or whatever, series, Netflix series, movies, etc. And what really stuck out in my mind was maybe about a year ago, my wife really got into a show called Yellowstone. I'm going to try to project my voice towards my phone instead of turning away. And I watched I really don't like these kind of normie shows, so I paid very little attention. My wife kind of watches TV. I'm not a TV person, so it's like she watches all kinds of slop. I just got to deal with it. I'm just like, I don't really give a fuck. I'm on my phone anyway 9 times out of 10, or I'm at my computer or whatever, playing a game or whatever bullshit. I got my handheld or whatever, one of my little video game handhelds. And she's watching a show called Yellowstone. And I don't really remember the premise. I think it had something to do with this family, and their struggle with their property and dealing with the government and dealing with neighbors, property neighbors, if that makes sense. You got huge I'm talking about acres and acres of property, and you got a fence and these other people's properties, and they're trying to encroach on your land, so you have to kind of protect your land, both physically and legally. And that's kind of what the premise of the show is. This family struggle, right? It's not about the as far as I know, it's not had nothing to do with the national park. It's just called Yellowstone. I don't know why. Don't really give a fuck. But I think I watched maybe 3 episodes, and after the 3rd episode, or after watching at least 2 episodes, I finally turned to my wife and I go, why is every character in the show just an unlikable cunt? Nothing redeeming about them at all. Just fucking unlikable little bitches that you just can't relate to, at all, because they're all terrible. They're all a bunch of fucking assholes. And you know what? Fair enough, because, most people are like that anyway, but, there's just no clear protagonist other than the family that you're kind of following. It's am I supposed to like these people? They're all kind of jackasses. They act like fucking jackasses. I'm gonna give an example. There's one character, he was the patriarch or something of the family. This older guy, probably in his 60s or something like that. He looked about in his 60s, maybe late 50s. And he's out they're all in a campfire, singing songs and toasting marshmallows and all that jazz with his clan, right? His tribe, his extended family and all that. And he's all looking sad or whatever, and I think his one of his granddaughters comes up to him, adult granddaughters, so he's got adult grandchildren. And she's all like, "Hey, Grandpa, what's wrong?" or blah blah blah. He's like, me and your grandma used to camp like this, and she would make cornbread on a skillet, and I just really missed that. I got thinking about her being out here with y'all or something like that. And I was like, okay, he's kind of relatable, I understand that, I get that, I can relate to that. Obviously, that's a dude that I can like, right? But in the next scene, and I'll never forget this, the whole show, I just realized everyone was just an unlikable cunt. The very next scene involves him at a baseball game or some bullshit, and he meets up with some lady who's in her 40s, so 20 years younger than him. I think she's a teacher or some bullshit. I'm probably misremembering completely, but it doesn't really matter. And they're talking, right? They're talking in the stands because they know each other for some reason. And he's hitting on her, flirting with her and stuff. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? We just got through having a scene where he's being a sad boy about his fucking not his ex-wife, but his deceased wife. And then we have the next scene with him flirting with the girl that could damn near be his daughter. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this stupid ass show? I was so like, dude, I'm done. Like the old man being sad about his wife. I related to that, right? Anybody can relate to that. When you it's like, oh, okay, he's got maybe there's hope for this show because maybe this guy, is the only kind of relatable good guy in the whole show. But no, he's just a fucking like a horny old man. You know what I'm saying? Like flirting with a dude 20 years younger than him or 30 years younger than him or whatever. And it's like, holy shit, man. Like everybody in the show is just an unlikable cunt. And when Matt was talking about that, I was like, yeah, that's the culture shift. Like that's like shows like that are put out on purpose. They're written this way on purpose nowadays because they want a culture shift. They're trying to show like the normies on the download or the normies on the frequency, like this is how you act, right? Like, oh, when your wife dies, just to give an example, right? Oh, when your wife dies, it's okay for you to be a sad boy, but also go get your dick wet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to go fuck around after that. You're a free man, right? Or whatever the fuck. It's so gross, man, but it's little things like that. It's like, oh, this is how you act in society. This is how you act with your family, right? Like you could be total fucking assholes to your family all you want because they're your family. They're your tribe, right? Like call back to what Billy was talking about. It's just like your blood relatives are like the worst. And this a show like that like perfectly exemplifies that, where everybody around you is just like just a fucking walking dildo that's meant to fuck you in the ass eventually. I don't know, man. It's just, this is what it's meant to do. And Matt McKinley, he seems I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but he seemed like kind of confused by that, and I don't blame him. I was confused by that too, where he's like, Matt McKinley's like, I don't understand why these shows are being written this way. And I know he kind of understands. He kind of gets what frequency, what vibe they want out there, what frequency they want out there for the normies. Like, it's okay to be a rotten piece of shit to your family, right? This is what these shows are meant to do. Whereas like maybe 30 years ago, 40 years ago, TV shows were a little different. I grew up with shows like Step by Step and Family Matters, and shows like Clarissa Explains It All, where Clarissa, I think, who's that? Melissa Joan Hart, that girl. That was one of those weird girl power shows, and I actually liked it. I remember growing up liking it, probably because I thought she was cute. More than likely, more than likely, I watched it because I liked the girl. I liked girls. I was a teenager, so it's like, but you see like a cohesive family for the most part, right? There's a little dysfunction. Like all these shows have some dysfunction, but for the most part, everybody's treating each other in a decent way. And it's not like that either, right? That doesn't reflect real life at all. So maybe that's an extreme as well. But just to give another example, this is actually a callback to a video that Kirk did a few months ago, actually, and I don't remember the title. I recently re-listened to it. Jesus. And I re-listened to it, and I was reading over my comments that I left to try to get an idea of maybe, do another video on something. But and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this little tidbit. And like I said, Kirk, I don't remember what video it was. I'll try to find it because it's in my watch history somewhere, so it shouldn't be that hard to find. But I left a comment talking about shows like Addams Family, the old Addams Family, that black and white show. I think it came out in the 50s. It was black and white, so it might have came out in the 40s. Jesus. But I watched like the first couple of episodes and I really liked it. It's a funny little show. It's a cute little show, right? But the thing is, the very first episode, this was so interesting, you guys. The very first episode, the way Addams Family is presented is like Halloween themed, right? This spooky show about these weird kind of tropes, these weird characters. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to put into words, but to get to the point, in the episode, Gomez, which is like the matriarch, he's obviously, you can tell he's obviously leading his family. Everybody goes to him with their problems. Like the children look up to him. His wife is following him. Even the grandmother who's living with them, his mother-in-law, respects him. Like, you can tell it's a cohesive family despite the strangeness or the unorthodox kind of way they go about things, their traditions and what they like and dislike. They really like the darkness, like the gloomy kind of setting. They live in a mansion, but their whole house is like spooky. That's the best word I can describe as spooky. Okay, I'm uneducated, so I don't got that big of a vocabulary. But in the very first episode, the government comes knocking at their door, right? It's like the education board or something, or some government worker wondering why Gomez and Morticia isn't sending their children to school, Pugsley and Wednesday. And they're like, you got to send them to school. It's what everyone does, right? Or whatever. And it's funny because they visit the house when Gomez isn't there. So they get to Morticia, right? And Morticia's like, oh, they need an education, blah, blah, blah. And Gomez finds out, and Gomez is like kind of not pissed off, but he's obviously upset that he's like, they don't need an education. The fuck you talking about? Like, I'll teach them. Like, we're teaching them. This is our family, right? Kind of deal. I recommend go watch the episode. It's super interesting. But and it's treated like, as Gomez is saying these things, there's a laugh track and everything. So anytime he says something like that, the laugh track plays. So the writers of the show is trying to present this as abnormal. Like, this family is so fucking weird and strange that they don't send their kids to school. So that's abnormal, right, guys? Like, look at this weird, spooky family. They're so weird that they don't send their kids to school. That's the joke. That's them trying to make it seem like Gomez being the head of his family in a way is abnormal too. And that's the message they want. Like, these TV shows are meant to portray a message. And I would describe the Addams Family as very conservative, like very family oriented, very traditional, despite their nuances, despite them being a little strange, right? So it's just like that. TV shows back then, Dennis the Menace, I brought that up once, where we got the silent gen parents, right? Dennis is a young boomer, a young baby boomer. He's got his silent gen parents who aren't paying attention to him, right? And Dennis is just kind of lashing out and acting out because his parents are fucking scumbags who just want their free time, right? They don't want to raise this stupid little kid anymore. Anytime he's not in school, he's just a pest and messing with them. And Dennis is just going around bothering Mr. Wilson. And, Mr. Wilson's the only adult that pays attention to him. And so Dennis, he's seeking a male figure. So he attempts to find it through Mr. Wilson. I know maybe that's a stretch for a lot of y'all. It's like, dude, you're just projecting this by this point. But no, like, Dennis's behavioral issues, I understand, guys, it's just a TV show, but Dennis's behavioral issues are just a symptom of his trashy fucking parents. And Dennis just wants to spend time with his parents. The whole time that the father's at work, like, Dennis is like pestering his mom. Like, he just wants his mom's attention. He wants to help her out around the house. He wants to talk to her. And when his dad's around, he just wants to be around him and talk to him. But of course, this piece of shit dad is just too tired, right? He wants to read the newspaper and have his coffee or whatever the fuck. And it's like, these TV shows are just designed to move the culture in a certain direction. And it all started with, these kind of shows. Like, Billy brought up Brady Bunch once, and I think I maybe have seen one episode of Brady Bunch when I was a kid, and I don't remember much about it. But I understand the premise. It's like two fucking idiots got together, single parents, and they brought their kids together and just expected them to get along. And they it's bad enough with these kids, like, their other parents aren't alive. It's bad enough that they're experiencing this separation, and now they're experiencing even more separation being with these other fucking strangers, these their stepbrothers and sisters. It's like, it's just so twisted. I really should watch the Brady Bunch. I'm not sure where I'd even see it, but it's like just pushing the culture more and more in a certain direction. And shows like, these shows are just fucking twisted and crazy. And these writers, like, they're just they're just on this not milk frequency, this satanic frequency where they just reverse God's order anytime they get, any chance they get, they're out to reverse God's order. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking wild, you guys. Anyway, I think that's all I got to say. I'm home now. I'll post this up as soon as I can. Take it easy.